this, right? I'm going to wet the surface. And basically all we're doing is we're just getting all the little final scratches out. All the little things that would show in the paint job. And all we're doing is just knocking the haze off. Because if you feel this panel right now, it feels rough. Feel the panel right here now. Now it's slick as, you know, snot on a doorknob. So we're just knocking the haze. We're not finish sanding. Well, yeah, you could consider this finish sanding. But this is the final step to the really good paint job. The really smooth one. See, and I felt the grab right there. There's extra right here. Yep. And you'll feel it as you're going. Like here, smooth. And here it starts dragging. You know you have debris. So and see how nice that cleans off, and you got fresh. You just keep it wet and you just keep working it, and you can go back and forth. You can go this way. It really doesn't matter. You're just knocking the haze off of it. You're just getting rid of the roughness and making it smooth again. Oh, like glass. Yeah. Because if you feel this, it's rough. If you feel this, it feels like you're putting your hands across glass. That's the reason for a wet sanding. And you just keep it wet and just keep working it. And I'm just doing this inside the shop with a squirt bottle right now, because if I would normally be doing this, I would be doing it outside with a water hose, and I would just be running water over it. But because it's 15 degrees outside in Oklahoma right now, I'm not out on the porch. I'm inside the shop. And see how your paper would, how it normally would gum up and it'd just be full of goop if you're doing this. Because the water helps it glide, and you're just taking the stuff off, okay? You're just taking off. Just taking off all the roughness. Done. Okay. And you can tell the difference between the two. And we'll do all these curved parts just by a piece by hand, because if you're careful, you can do it just barehanded around the corners and stuff, and you ain't got to get crazy with it. There we go. Now we're doing good. But that's wet sanding. That's all there is to it. And it's still dragging right here. So we'll clean our pad. See, and it's still taking a little bit of material. There we go. See, and there's our two spots. One spot, a little squirrely. That's all that's left of the spot putty. So, yep. Then if there's spots like roundness, odd shaped, you can just take a piece by hand, get it wet. And I suggest, just to be safe, you get it wet on both sides. Then you can just do it by hand. You can just, like I said, all you're doing, and this is that, tuck the thumb and use the side of your hand, not your fingertips. Because even though this is 320, 400 grit paper, it could still go down the middle, just like you see over here. It took it down the middle. But see, it just takes it right off. You just get it wet. You can go around the round spot. And this is what we'll do in the front, where all the roundness is. Or just knocking the haze off. And then you can use it. This is the one spot where I say, if you're going to use your fingertip, you just do this. That's all you do. Boom. Then you're done. Just on that ridge. And if you want to, you could do it over here on this ridge. And you're just, like I said, you're just knocking the haze off of it. That's all you're doing. Just like that. And that's the whole premise of wet sanding. Is you're just around the corners. You can use your hands around the corners. Just like that. Blocker pad, your choice. I had to refill my bottle, but I got smart. I refilled it with warm water, which ain't gonna hurt nothing. Warm water is fine. Just getting it wet. And first time you do this, you'll notice you can rub your hand on one you've done and rub your hand on one that you haven't, and you can definitely feel the difference. There's a huge difference, okay? Matter of fact, I just caught a spot right here. And it's just a matter of waiting to feel for it to drag. That's all there is to it. It'll just drag. And once it starts going across smooth and not dragging, you know you're done. You've got all the top overspray haze took off of it, and then you're good to go. And sorry about that little interruption. I had to do a little honeydew for a minute. But that just goes prove you don't have to be on top of this right there on the spot, because, you know, it's already got paint on it. It's protected. So, all right. So, like I said, you're just going to get up here and get her wet. Definitely helps to have a heater running. See, really nothing on the block. Or if you were doing this dry, this sucker would be full of goo right now with all this, with a sandable primer. The sandpaper would be full. That's the other cool thing about wet sanding is it doesn't fill up the sandpaper with stuff. And this is still dragging. I got high spots in here. Wow. Okay. Well, that warm water makes a big difference. Remember that, guys. Fill your bottle up with warm water. Even hot. Doesn't hurt nothing. Okay, now we need to do the front. Oh, and I need to do one thing over here. I got the edges here, but I need to do this edge right here. All right. Same thing. We're not putting a lot of pressure. We're just knocking off the overspray. Just clean it up, because the next coat, the color coat, that's the one that this is for. Now, there are some flat spots on the front of this, like this whole surface right here is all flat. But still, when you're dealing with a compound curve, when it comes to wet sanding, I've never had a problem. Some guys, because, you know, you're talking about round with a square block. Okay, so some guys have problems figuring this out. Well, wherever I got flat, I use the block. And whenever I got round, I don't. Okay. And like I said, on this, you are just getting it wet and you're just cutting off the overspray. That's all you're doing. You're just making it, doing the final, taking the final roughness out of it. Okay. And since I got a flat surface here, we're going to wipe her down a flat surface. But this is a real nice flat surface. So, and as I said before, I'm not trying to take material off. I'm just trying to take smooth as glass. Yeah, smooth as glass. Okay, now round edge. you're back to your single piece of paper. And as you can see, even though we've been using it, it's clean. You know, just throw a little water on it. Same thing here. So we know we got to about right here, and we need to do this right here. And again, not like this, like this. And again, like I said, we are just, all you're doing, you can use the full sheet if you want to. Been known to do this myself. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do it right now. Just use the full sheet. All we're doing is knocking the haze off, okay? That's all we're doing, knocking the haze off. Not removing any material, we're just making it slick. Just the overspray. That's all we're doing. Just the overspray, okay? Ooh, like glass. Okay, and which this one? Still rough, okay? We're just knocking off the overspray. That's all we're doing. We're just making it slick. Whew, that water cools down real fast. And if you want to know if you're getting it, if it feels good, run your finger across it. Ooh, yeah, like glass. Okay, and this one's still rough over here. Okay, now I'll do it over here on this side. Okay, we'll show you on this side. See, now this is a weird little corner right here, right? And it's kind of the same thing. You got round, you got flat. So just use your fingers. We're not trying to take material off. We're just like butter. Okay, yep. And I got one little spot right here. Oh yeah, smooth. Yep, no haziness, smooth. All right, got to do this over here on this. Don't be afraid to run your hands down and see if you can find any rough spots, because that's the whole point of this. Okay, now we got to wipe it down, and we're gonna take these off because we're done. This is ready for color. Okay, so we're gonna take it. I'll show you how we clean this. We just take a towel. We wipe it off. Now this is going to get about 95% of the water off, but look, see, it takes just that overspray off of it, so you get it clean. And again, this is just another opportunity to look at it, see if you're finding stuff on there, a blemish, because if you're going to find it, now's the time to do it, not after the paint's on it. Yeah. Anyway, so now let's wipe down. Now it's time for the air and blow her dry. Okay, that's how you wet sand. And she's smooth, real smooth. There is no roughness anywhere. So she's ready for paint. And you can see there really isn't anything popping out. There's the two little spots that got fixed. See them? Little red spots? Yep. Got a little bit show through, and this will still pick up, even though I've been through 3 layers of this and busting down, and it's still knocking off high and low spots. So, or knocking off high spots. So, but now the last thing to do is we'll wipe this down with some chemicals and then shoot it with paint. But that is how you wet sand. So if you're still here, like, share, subscribe, smash that button, hit that bell, tell your friends. Y'all have a good day, because a good day today could be a wet sanded hood in the morning. Literally. Y'all be good.